Good day, gamers. 14 here, and welcome to episode 8 of Minecraft StoneBlock. Hello, everyone. I'm doing well, googly eyes aside, and I hope you're doing well as well. Today, we are going to be continuing on with some additions and upgrades and some progress here in our StoneBlock center base. As you can see around here, we've got some pathways that are opening up a bit more than they were previously. We've got the area that I'm working on for the Arboretum. This is still kind of dug out here. And as I went to go start recording, you'll notice over here looks a little bit different. So, yeah, so I dug out this area. This is kind of what I was thinking, the basic area is one of the side rooms I'm going to be using for either trees or chickens or what have you. And I was experimenting with how I want the floor to look. This is kind of a rough draft of what I'd like the floor to look like in these side rooms. I'm not sure if I'm going to use like wood planks or if I'm going to use grass blocks or what. But when I came over here, we have these energetic sheep that have started spawning here. I did nothing to cause this. I do have the feral flare lanterns up at the top, so this area is fully lit forever. I do have the mega torches in each corner to prevent hostile mobs from spawning. But as I was finishing up, just working on a little bit of pre-recording prep, harvesting some wheat, processing some materials over here, setting up some iron to process in the smeltery here. I looked over and I saw these, from way back here, I saw these glowing things. I'm like, oh no, what are those? I doubt they're hostile mobs, considering the mega torches should be keeping hostile mobs from spawning. And yeah, apparently it's part of a mod called Energetic Sheep. There's the egg for the energetic sheep, there's the energetic shears, and apparently all the different types of wool have RF in it. Yeah, have not gotten this far in this mod pack before, and I've not seen this in other mods or other mod packs, so shocking. So apparently you can use these sheep to generate power, which is probably going to be, useful for the fact that I'm going to be needing to generate power and am potentially going to be, working on some power generation today. But yeah, apparently there's sheep that generate electricity. You can actually draw electricity from them, or RF, forge power, whatever you want to call that. So yeah, we're gonna have to, we're gonna have to play around with that in a bit. This is not how I was intending to start this episode. Was we have some rather shocking sheep over here. So let's get into the stuff that I was actually going to go with. The smeltery is a little taller at the moment, just so I can process more ores in it at once. It can hold up to 800 ingots now. Been feeding plenty of lava into there. I have been rotating out my chickens. The smart chicken is currently at 888. The bone white chicken is currently 9, 10, 10. And I do have some 10 eggs for both. So what I'd like to do is on camera go ahead and grow these 10 chickens. Sweet. Oh, did I grabbed too many? That's fine. I'd like to grow these 10 chickens, swap these out, and that will just start producing. That'll be my permanent smart chicken and my permanent bone white chicken. So those are going to take a little while to grow up, and that's fine. We can work on other things while we do. I did Go ahead and grab. Here's 2 bone white chicken triple tens and 2 smart chicken triple tens, just so I have them in a safe spot, just in case. I've also been getting a ton of eggs. Here is the original smart chicken, regular chicken, and boat wine chicken that I've created, as well as all the procedured ones. So like it grow from a regular 111 to a 222 to a 444, then a 666, and that one that's in the cage right now is the next iteration before getting to triple ten. Same thing with the bone white chickens. So those are growing. I would like to start up the flint chicken, log chicken, and sand chicken up next. Mostly, not that I really need flint all that much. I will use it for a couple things. The log chicken is going to be the one that I'm going to need the most, considering, oh, you're just a little baby chicken. Let's actually grow you up fully. There we go. The log chicken is the one I'm going to want the most, just because I still need to create the other 2 sections, fully decorate these areas. It's going to take a lot of logs and such. Let me grab my chicken stuff real quick. That way I also have it for when I need some seeds. I'll have it for when those chickens grow up and I can swap them out. You're just a little baby chicken. Grab that. We're going to come over here. Place you down. And yeah, go ahead and grow it up to full size first. This way I can be growing these chickens, just kind of processing them off camera, and when they're fully grown, as I'm doing now, I will swap out whatever chicken they're currently on for the triple tens, and there we go. We'll be good. Boop. Perfect. You've got the bottom of a log for your butt. There we go. So those will be dropping manure, feathers, regular eggs, as well as their respective drops, flint, logs, and sand. Perfect. I would like to go ahead and grab some more seeds to have them on me for when those 2 chickens grow up. The smart chicken and the bone white chicken. Have a sip of apple juice. Right. Those are going. Those are going. We have got, yeah, let's go ahead and make the, our next step for today is in Pam's Harvest Craft and Farming for Blockheads, there's a market block. These ones right here. That one from Farming for Blockheads, this one from Pam's Harvest Craft. I'd like to go ahead and start getting some of the seeds that I can purchase for these up and running. That way I can start getting all of the different foodstuffs that I can make with them. Thankfully enough, it won't take too much to make the market. It just takes red wool, specifically the red wool, some planks and logs. That's going to be easy enough to make. I should have, yes, plenty of the floral red powder. We'll need a piece of wool, not the energetic wool, but just a regular piece of wool. And then we'll also need some planks and some logs. We've got ourselves a piece of wood, or a piece of wool, excuse me. Red wool, and here's the market block. For now, it's gonna sit, let's have it sit right here. The weathered salesperson is just going to stand forever trapped in that gateway there. And that will allow us to get a bunch of seeds. So, as I said previously, we have this area set aside for wheat, specifically for wheat and seeds. We have these 3 areas set for whatever seeds I happen to get. I do have some of these seeds that I've been getting through sieving other materials. So we got beetroot, we've got canola, we've got carrot, coffee, flax, The grass seeds are just to make grass blocks. We've got melon, potato, pumpkin, rice, regular seeds, which I'm using, and sugarcane, which sugarcane I believe has to be grown, I want to say, on sand that is also right next to water. So I'm not going to be able to place the sugarcane just yet. How are the eggs doing? Eggs are growing pretty nice. They're already most of the way there. Very good. So beetroot, canola, carrot, and coffee. We'll just start them right here. Beetroot, canola, carrot, and coffee. No, I don't want to plant these. I do want to plant the pumpkin. Let's do the pumpkin since it has to grow in like a specific direction. Let's plant the pumpkin and the melon right here. And I'd like to try to have them like grow onto this little block here just to make it a little easier. But we got coffee, we got flax, we got potato, and rice. There we go. Just a nice little basic crops. And as you can see, I'm already starting to get some crops from them. Very nice. Eggs are going. So with this market block, what I'd like to do is I don't have a ton of emeralds, but I do have a fair amount. I can at least go ahead and get some of the different seeds that you can purchase. So if we take a look here, thankfully enough, we can just leave the emerald here. Nope. Give me those back. Thank you. We'll go ahead and toss that in there, and I'll harvest a lot of this stuff just as I get it. Boop. There we go. So to begin, we're going to need barley, cotton, we have regular seed, we have melon, pumpkin, and beetroot. Let's get blackberry, blueberry, candleberry, raspberry, strawberry, cactus fruit. Let's get some asparagus, some barley. Well, we have two different types of barley. That's fine. There's a Pam's Harvest Crafts barley, and there's a Natura barley. We need oats, some rye, some corn, and bamboo shoot. I'm only buying one for right now because I can turn the drops from these plants into more seeds. So I figure I'll buy the first seed and we'll be good from there. Cantaloupe, cucumber, winter squash, zucchini, beet, which is pretty much the same as beetroot, but whatever, onion, parsnip, peanut, and radish. So we're going to stop on the radish for the moment. We'll head on over and plant these seeds. How is our chickens doing? Oh, we've got our baby chickens. We've got our baby chickens. Okay. Where's my animal net? Grab the seeds to grow them up. Let's do the smart chicken. Oh, you are almost done and ready to cool. And you are similar. There. Okay. Grab the chicken catcher. Boop. Thank you, chicken catcher. And perfect. All right. Before we continue, let's go ahead and plant these seeds, and then we'll get back to the chicken stuff, because there's something else I want to do with the chickens as well. So we're just going to go down the line. I don't have any particular, like, this crop is definitively going to be here for this amount of time. You know, this is the permanent location for this kind of crop or anything like that. This is just to get them started growing. So that way I'll be able to start collecting their drops. Once I start working on the full farming area. There we go. Once I start working on the full farming area, I'll have all the garden cloches, and at that point, I'll have them probably all going in essentially alphabetical order. So, you know, asparagus to zucchini kind of thing, just all down the line. Okay, so we have our smart chicken here. We will grab the smart chicken. We'll have a very loud sound next door. Sorry about that if you heard it. Let's see, old smart chicken. Old smart chicken goes away. New smart chicken. New smart chicken in the animal net. And boop. There we go. Now what I can do is I can convert all of these eggs to just be regular eggs and use them as regular eggs. We are going to do the same with the bone white chicken. Grab the bone white chicken. Plop it down. It looked like that bone white chicken had a little flag on it. Okay, that was weird. I don't know what's up with the little flag that it had, but okay. Then new chicken. Oh, it's got a little man riding on his head. It's got a little man. I guess they come with like a random hat or something. That's what that flag was. Okay. All right, we now have a 1010 bone white chicken and a 1010 smart chicken. What I would like to do now is we have two main types of nests. We have the hatchery nests, which are over there, and then we have the roosts, which is what I would like to create next. I will process these chickens later on. We shall take one bone white chicken and one smart chicken. We are going to grow these chickens up and then place them in the roost nest, which I will make shortly. Okay, bone white and smart chicken egg. So those are going to start growing. As you can see, we've already got quite a bountiful harvest here of, what do we got? Zucchinis, beets, corn, parsnips, strawberry, raspberry, candleberry, and so on. I'm just surprised at the electric sheep. I was not expecting that whatsoever. But that's fine. We'll put them to good use. Okay. I believe zucchini was the last one. So we'll scroll down here. Oh, actually, no, it was radish. Yeah, radish was the last one. So we got radish. We need rutabaga, sweet potato, turnip, rhubarb, celery. Let's see. Celery, garlic, ginger, spice leaf, tea. We've got another type of coffee, that's fine. Mustard, broccoli, cauliflower, leek, lettuce, scallion, artichoke, Brussels sprouts. Ew, Brussels sprouts. Cabbage, spinach, white mushroom. We'll see if that works. Bean and soybean. Let's go ahead and plant these. Whoops, give me my animals back. Thank you. Again, these are not going to be like the permanent location of all of these. This is just to get some plant stuff and going. Making some progress with that. Because I am most definitely going to need more harvesting room for all the different plants that can be planted. For the white mushroom spores, I may have to create like a special area for that. I don't know. Because like standard Minecraft mushrooms only grow in very specific circumstances. No? Okay. Cool. It just grows there. So bean and soybean was the last ones I got. Let's see what's left to purchase. Scroll all the way down. There we go. Got bell pepper, chili pepper, eggplant, okra, peas, peas seed. It's just the peas themselves. Tomato, another version of cotton, pineapple, grape, kiwi, cranberry, another type of rice, seaweed, curry leaf, sesame seeds, water chestnuts, giga pickles. I don't know exactly what giga pickles are, but sure, we'll go with it. Agave, amaranth, arrowroot, and cassava. Let's go ahead and stop for the... Oh, I keep throwing the emeralds. Let's stop from there. Keep a better eye on our eggs. And let's plant all these. And then we shall start making the roost nests. That way those will be set up and ready to go once I have access to those chickens. So I'm eventually going to have one of each of the nests, these hatchery nests, set up for each chicken. And I'm also going to have a roost nest set up for each chicken. They pretty much give the same drops, but I do want to utilize both mods from the mod pack. So why not? There we go. Okay. Nice field full of crops. Let's put away the rest of our emeralds. We're definitely going to have to sieve some more to get all of the rest of the other things we can from there. How are the eggs doing? Not growing quite as fast, but that's okay. How are these chickens doing? We're already getting some stronger chicken eggs from the flint chicken here. Even the log chicken is doing well at 322. And sand, we've got a 333 already. Very nice. So, like I did with these chickens, I will swap them out as I'm working on other things. Okay. Oh, let's see. The next thing that I would like to do is there is a bunch of Pam's Harvest Craft food creation tools, for lack of a better term, that I want... Ooh, pardon me. That I want to go ahead and make. So once I have more of these foods, I can start processing them in different ways. Let's see. They're going to be... Go through all the different food things we can make. Here's some of them. Okay, so we've got the cutting board, which is a piece of brick, a stick, and a plank. I don't know how exactly you can have a knife looking like the cutting board when part of it is just a brick. Like what's the knife? Where's the knife in that? Who knows? But that's okay. Bricks I should have, I think, at the dumpage chest. Yeah, I've got them over here in dumpage chest right now. All right, so we're going to make the cutting board. And we can use that for a few different things. We can make some lettuce wraps, some Vegemite on toast, some tuna salad, tuna potatoes, Sunday high tea, Sudero, and so on. The next is a pot. How do I make a pot, Pam? Lewis. I'm guessing a reference to one of the testers. But we have a pot now. Pots can be used to make vinegar. They can be used to make, let's see, vegetable soup, turnip soup. We can make takoyaki, which is really tasty. We can make sugar, sweet pickles. But here's a nice thing we can do is we can start making stock with it, which lets us turn some of the very small saturation food items into much better saturation food items, including seed soup, which is just literally stock and any type of seed. Make seed soup. So not bad. Let you recycle food, kind of. We've got a skillet. We've got said skillet. That can be used to make waffles, veggie stir fry. We can make quesadillas, sardines and hot sauce. Why anyone would want to do that, I don't know. Potatoes of brine, omelets, okra creole, and so on. We have a saucepan. Saucepan can be used for things like watermelon jelly. Oh, okay. Yeah, watermelon jelly, vindaloo. We can make strawberry jelly, mustard pork, spaghetti. We can literally make a Snickers bar. I don't know how they didn't get the maybe copyright, so be careful with that. Let's go back over here for a moment. Hi, guys. Let's see. Let's go ahead and got you. And there we go. So we are going to boop the chickens with the chicken catcher. Come on. Like that. All right. Let's finish making the Pam's Harvest Craft tools, and then we'll go back over here to the chicken stuff. There's not a lot of tools to make, but we'll want to make sure we make them all. The only tools that I have made so far, and you guys seen them previously, was the juicer, the knife, and some bowls. Let's see. We got the saucepan. We need the bakeware. Bakeware like so. Makes things like zucchini bread, zucchini bake, excuse me. We can dry some vanilla. We can make some cupcakes, some tomato herb chicken, some Tim Tams, timpanos, tater tots. Then we need a mortar and pestle, which we need actual stone for. That's easy enough. I usually have at least a little bit of smelted stone ready to go, especially if I need to dig something out and then repair the floor for now. I've got it just in case. We got the mortar and pestle. That's used to make pistachio butter, mochi, marzipan. We can make some ground nutmeg, some flour. Let's see. We need the mixing bowl. Got that. That's used to make things like vanilla ice cream, summer squash with radish, a shrimp cocktail, seed energy gel, which I might start making some of that just because it looks kind of neat. Let's see. And we need to make the Pam's juicer, which is stone and a stone pressure plate, which is just more stone. Okay. Making sure that I have not made that any place, and I have not, because obviously there's this juicer from Tiny Progressions, and then there's the Pam's Harvest Craft juicer. So we need a little bit more smelted stone. Do that for a stone pressure plate. Boop and boop. Makes the juicer, and the juicer allows me to make things like strawberry smoothies. We can make the Pam's version of juices, so strawberry juice, starfruit juice, salad dressing, pomegranate juice, plum smoothies, and so on. And I believe that that is all the tools that we use for making the different Pam's Harvest Craft stuff. As you can see, just looking through this list, there is an absolute tonnage of different foods that we can make. Eventually, I will be putting together a book, just standard Minecraft book of all of the different foods. So that way, when it's time for me to start, actually, one of the things that I want to do is I want to eat one of every single food. And it's going to take a long while for me to sort through and organize every single food that I can eat and that I can make. It will be done because, 100% completion, or at least as close to that as I can get. But it's going to take a while. So forgive me if that's going to be one of the longer term goals. Okay. We do have our 10 chickens here. We want to make the roost. And for that, we are going to need the roost block, which is just some planks and a hay bale. And what the roost does is you put the chicken, whatever kind of chicken, in the roost, and it'll produce the drop. So eggs, ink sacs, and so on. The roost collector, I think what that does, I think that collects stuff that's around it if you just have your chickens out and about, but I'm just going to have them in the thing. So hay bales and oak wood planks. All right. Let's go ahead and grab a little bit more wood. We've got all the hay right here for now. We're going to need 2 roosts because we have 2 chickens. I do want to go ahead and make a couple more. Let's see. We're going to make 1, 2, 3, 4 more chests because I want to make 2 more wood. There we go. Just wooden hoppers for right now. And we'll set these up. Pop, pop, pop. All the eggs, all the bone meal, all the feathers and manure. Let's place these. Let's see. Let's place them right here for now. So for the moment, we'll place you here and you here. Pop, pop. We'll take the roosts themselves, put you there, and you right there. We've got the bone white chicken, like so. Yeah, look how fast that progress is running. So inside here, chicken itself is going to be making the drops. Let's just watch a laying process. It's going to take about a minute or so, but look how fast this is going. And this is the stats of a 10 chicken. If this was, like just a 111 chicken, this would take so much longer to produce drops. We're just going to watch it real quick. Hello, Miss Kittums. Apologies if my voice sounds like a little farther away. I do have a cat on my lap. She's kind of deciding what she wants to do. Okay. So from that one hatching, or from that one laying cycle, I got 3 bone meal. Nice. Pop the smart chicken in here. And as you can see, it's running fast for that as well. Cool. So these are now just going to be producing an infinite amount of those drops. The drops will be hoppered out into chests. And then what I'll do eventually is have those set up into a much bigger storage system. Just set them up, let them run, and this will be how I produce a lot of the different materials that I'm going to be getting. Again, we're going to have one nesting pen for them to be like this, and then one roost for them to be like that. And yeah, material generation. It's going to go very fast. All right. Let's go ahead and put away the wood and other chicken stuff. Hello, Miss Kittums. You hopping down? That's fine. Go get a drink. Good girl. I would like to start working on some power generation stuff. Especially considering we now have the energetic sheep. I want to do a little bit of mechanism stuff. Again, I was not expecting those energetic sheep to show up. I promise you, I did nothing to like get them to spawn or anything, or even this little rabbit here. I just put this grass area down, and my assumption is the game is like, oh, you're wearing a little top hat. Aww. You're wearing a little top hat. Like, I had thought that I would possibly start getting some sheep or some cows in this area. Because, hey, it's the only fully lit grassy area that's possible for these creatures to spawn on. So yeah, it's possible that I would get something to spawn here. At the same time, given the fact that there is sheep bait and cow bait and rabbit bait that you can make, yeah, like these, the wolf bait, the cow bait, pig bait, chicken bait. I thought I was gonna have to make those initially to start getting passive mobs to spawn, and then I could like breed them from there. But no, they just started popping in there. So I'll take it. But in any event, as I was saying, I want to start working on mechanism stuff for a couple reasons. One, I do want to get access to some of the material processing that mechanism allows. But mostly I want to get access to power generation so I can make the hydrator, so I can start making grass blocks, so I can start setting up the hopping bonsais. So let's go ahead and work on that. First thing we're going to need is a source of power. And for that, we're going to be relying on the, not the fuel wood heater, the mechanism heat generator. A generator that uses the heat of lava or other burnable resources to produce energy. Simple enough. We have a ton of burnables. We have a ton of coal that we can just use. Or we can also pipe lava directly into it from the crucible, just using the fluid extraction cable, which is probably what we're going to do. So for the heat generator, we need iron, copper, osmium, planks, and a furnace. We should have plenty enough of all of this. We've got copper. We've got osmium. Let's go ahead and unpack some of this iron that I have. There we go. We need wood planks. Let's grab that. Actually, I'll do that so I have a bit more wood. And then we need a furnace. Speaking of cobblestone, how is this doing? That's... Let me empty this out real quick, and then we'll get back to mechanism. Sorry. I just want to make sure that this thing does not start... No, I don't need that. Thank you. I want to make sure this thing doesn't start overflowing. It's highly unlikely that it's gonna, but I want to make sure. There we go. Okay. That's taken care of for the moment. Boop, boop, and boop. All right. Sorry about that. Back to mechanism. Okay. Heat generator, like so. Let's place that right. Let's see. Working area for the moment. Oh, thank you. Let's place it right here. Okay. So we can generate lava into here, and that creates power. There's, like I said, there's a couple ways we can do this. We can take, let's take a little bit of coal to demonstrate. You can also use charcoal or wooden things. You pop it in here. It creates a little bit of lava. A little bit of lava turns into some energy. Not a lot, but it does add up. Take the fluid extraction cable, take the crucible, we'll take the yellorium block, and I'm going to place it, let's see. Out of curiosity's sake, I'm curious. Does this work? No, I didn't think so. That's fine. The yellorium creates heat, but it doesn't create like oh, actually I meant to put that. Move it one block over. It creates heat, but it doesn't like generate lava like heat. So if I do this, perfect. So now what I should be able to do is we're going to use some andesite. That's going into there. Yep, perfect. So what this does, every time it generates lava, it pops the lava into here, and the lava becomes energy. Awesome. Boop, 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 boop. Yep. Basic power generation. Is again, not a lot of power, but I don't need a lot of power for right now. I want to do slow power just so I don't make too much by accident. Okay. But since we want to do, we want to get a power transference system set up, we are going to need the mechanism cabling, because that's my favorite. It works the best. So for that, I need the metallic infuser, which is this one, the metallurgic infuser, excuse me. So what this does is it allows me to turn iron and coal into enriched iron and then steel. Steel is going to be the main component. So we need more furnaces, some redstone, osmium, and iron. Once again, easy enough to do. We've got plenty of redstone. We've got osmium, and we have some cobblestone already. So we're going to make 2 furnaces. 1, 2, like so. And we now have the metallurgic infuser. Now, since we don't have any power transferring cable, there's some that we can make as interim steps if I really want to. But I can also just place this block, not like that. Oh, actually like that, and it's fine. Okay. Here's a question, and I'm gonna try this real quick, because when I saw those energetic sheep, like just before I recorded, just I was ending last time, I looked up the mod and it says, oh yeah, you can just add the power from them, from the wool, into blocks that accept power. So it says all you have to do is like do this. Okay, yeah. You literally just right click the block with the wool and it adds the power to it. That is an odd concept. So yeah, this has no power. Or, excuse me, let's see. 1449. So this got 1449 in it. Right click. 1602. Okay, sure. Sure, we'll go with that. There we go. Thankfully enough, this keeps the power. So with the metallurgical infuser, what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to add, there it is, carbon to iron originally to make enriched iron, and then more carbon becomes steel. So let's grab some carbon right now. Again, you can use coal or charcoal. I just have a ton of coal already made and ready to go just from sieving. Again, I don't want to waste this, but I also don't, I want to be precise in what I'm creating. So 1, 2 pieces of coal, 10 carbon per coal, is going to be what's required to make 1 piece of steel. Let's add more andesite to here. That's going to create more power. Okay, so we have a piece of enriched iron and 10 carbon left in the system. Do that. Just keep topping off the crucible for right now, because why not? And there we go. We have our first piece of steel dust. Okay. Add more to that. I can make some energetic shears for the sheep there. Again, I was it's kind of it's a funny thing of I was not anticipating the sheep showing up, so I'm like, okay, I had really nothing planned for in terms of, hey, how am I going to use this? But then when they just showed up, I'm like, well, you know, I might as well figure it out on the fly. I think I can use this to charge up these shears as well. Let's see, that's taking all the power right now. That's fine. I don't want to try and use the shears with them having no power in it, because I don't want that to, like, theoretically break the shears because it has quote-unquote no durability. If you've seen my previous SevTech playthroughs, things that run on power, especially if it has what is effectively a durability bar at the bottom of the item that is supposed to show how much power it has in it, they can get really wonky when they run out of power and then take a bit of damage, or are used when they have no energy in it. The spaceship, the space suit that I've used in the past, in SevTech, when you have the powered version of it, if it gets too low on power, that's also its durability bar. If it then takes damage, that's taking away from the durability bar, which is also its power bar. And I've had pieces of my spacesuit break when, oh crap, it's almost out of power, and then it takes damage to the durability bar. Yeah, again, it's just kind of weird. So I want to make sure that this doesn't accidentally act as a, hey, this is the durability as well as the power. You know, you go to use this that has 0 durability and boop, it's now destroyed. So we're just going to let this charge up a bit first. And then I will continue making, I will continue making, steel. Once this is full, the power, there we go. Go ahead and grab a bit more andesite. Why am I using andesite to generate lava instead of like a cobblestone? No particular reason. I really have no use for andesite right now, so I might as well use up the little bits that I have. I can always make more later on by adding like diorite to cobblestone or making andesite pebbles. So it is not a big deal that I'm using it up now. Like, oh no, I shouldn't have used all that andesite, you know, earlier on to make lava. No, why didn't I think of such things? No, it's fine. All right. So this has 3920 power in it. Let's go shear. We now have a polar bear over here. Okay. This area is suddenly getting more dangerous. I think what I'm going to do for the second, to preserve the rest of the base, I'm going to go ahead and block off that area to make sure none of anything that could be hostile comes over here until I better create that finish up that area. Let's do this to be on the safe side because, you know, energetic sheep, probably not an issue. Most likely not going to hurt me. Polar bears, possibly are going to hurt me. Could be an issue. So, you know, let's make sure it doesn't become an issue. We'll just go ahead and fence this off like this because this area is still a work in progress. And let's see what happens when I shear one of these sheep. Let's see. So this has 3920 power in it. 2840. Okay. So it doesn't give me the wool items. It just drains the energy directly into the shears. Okay. Sure. If there's a way for me to then transfer the power out of the shears, that'll be something. Hi, polar bear. Are you going to be upset at me? I don't want you to be upset at me, so I'm just going to wander away. Okay. Cool. Not expected, but very funny, and I love it. Okay, moving back to what I was working on. Sorry about that. Oh, I guess what I could do is if I make the mechanism battery, I could take power out of these things. We'll see. Okay. uh, Modded Minecraft. You are so strange and fun, and I love it. Okay. 2 coal. We have 20 carbon in there. No, wrong way. Boop. Let's go ahead and make steel. We'll make our energy cable. Make a few other things. Here's our enriched iron. Boop, boop, boop. Make more power, please. Yeah, we take the steel dust, we just smelt it up, and it becomes steel ingots. We use the steel ingots to make... yeah, here it is. The basic universal cable that transfers power, and now I don't have to have machines sticking right, one to the other. And like I said, I just prefer to use mechanism power cabling. I just like the way it works a lot better than some of the other options. So let's go ahead and smelt this dust. Now, I will point out that it's not a cheat. It's not a skip. It's not anything like that. There is another mod in this mod pack that you can use to essentially bypass this whole process right here of converting iron into steel to get that first bit of steel to start with. And I will go ahead and show that off, and I'll use it once just for completion's sake. If we take a look at the tiny progression, there is a hammer that you can make. It's called the stone hammer, used for crafting only. It takes hardened stone, string, and stick. Hardened stone, it comes from unhardened stone, which is clay, sand, cobblestone, and iron. Let's go ahead and make a little bit of that. We need some sand. We've got cobblestone. I should have clay here in raw ore. There we go. So let's take a look. We got iron. Boop, boop. We're just going to make one set of 4 unhardened stone. And thank you, steel ingots. We're just going to smelt 2 of them. The rest are going to go into the dumpage chest for right now. Go ahead and put away that clay. So what happens with this hardened stone? Thank you. And thank you for that XP. We will grab some sticks and some string. Thank you. We'll make the stone hammer. We now have the stone hammer. What you do is you combine the stone hammer with some iron and either charcoal or coal, and that makes steel ingots directly. Yep. So you don't have to use the metallurgic infuser to try to do the process to make steel. You don't need to use the blast furnace and the coke kiln from immersive engineering to make your first pieces of steel. You can just do this. I'm doing this. Boom. Steel. Again, just to show you what it is, how to do it, how it works. I really don't plan on using it again. So I'm just going to stick it in retired equipment. Not because it's bad, not because it's, I feel like it's super cheaty or anything like that. Nothing of the sort. It's just now that I have this process, I might as well go ahead and use this process because that way is kind of faster, but this way is also going to be a lot more efficient. Once I compress the carbon, it's going to go from 10 carbon per piece to 80 carbon per piece, which means I can make 4 pieces of steel per 1 piece of coal versus needing 6 pieces of coal to make one piece or make 2 pieces of steel. It just works out to be more efficient. So, like I said, it's not a cheat. It's not like something that I added in, like, oh, you're just, you're just doing that to jump over things. No, it's built into the mod pack. It is 100% a legitimate thing. It's just not something that I really care to use all that much. But for now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This will give us 5 machines here, 5 machines here, and another piece of energy production that I want to put on this side here. And we'll have room for a battery in the middle for right now. Let's see. That's going to go here. And that's going to go here, because I do want to make a battery just to have it for in case I generate too much power by accident. Okay. So we've got the metallurgical infuser. Let's go ahead and pour more into here. That's generating power. Yep, perfect. The power is going into here. I would like to make the crusher. There we go. Actually, no, sorry. I need the configurator first. Apologies. I need the configurator. The configurator is lapis, enriched alloy, and an energy tablet, which is more enriched alloy. Enriched alloy is redstone and iron. So I'm going to need some gold. I'm going to need a piece of lapis, and I'm going to need some sticks. We got the sticks. I should have... Yes, I got some gold. I'm going to grab a little bit more redstone and a little bit more iron here, just to make sure I've got it. And I do need a piece of lapis. Thank you. All right. Feed this energy producing beast here. So for the configurator, I need 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces of enriched alloy. The enriched alloy is redstone and iron. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 redstone. 1, 2, 3, 4 iron ingots. Put in some more here. What I'm going to do also while this is working, because we're going to be ending fairly soon, I want to take the hydrator and I want to plug it in right... So let's put it right here. So in theory, this is going to need power. It may not be getting much power at the moment because this thing is sucking up all the power, but we'll take a look. If I can, I'd like to end off this episode with having my first piece of grass block to be able to set up my first hopping bonsai. We'll see if that happens. Yeah, we're generating power, but not a lot. I don't think that I can... Yeah, I think that's just going to take... Well, out of curiosity, let's see. This has 145,000 power in it. I'll put it here. Okay. Yeah, look at that. You essentially use the energetic shears as a battery. Ha! That is quite funny. Are you getting power now? You're not getting power now. Are you generating power now? You are not generating power now. Let's see. How about now? Are you getting power? Nope. This should be, in theory, pushing power into this. Okay. We'll take a look at that in a second once I get the configurator up and running. Okay, configurator. We got the enriched alloy, we got the lapis, we need the energy tablet. There we go. Let's make the configurator. Let's go ahead and grab some diorite to make some lava here. Okay, that's generating power. That's not gaining power. That's Okay. So what is taking up all the power? Is it just putting power into the cable? I think what it's doing is it's trying to store the power into the cable, which it's, you know, it's supposed to do. Come on. Charge this thing up. Like, it's generating power. I'm just surprised it's not configuring it. I'll have to give that a think. Let's take a look at the hydrator real quick. It may be that it's actually getting power, it's just not showing power, which happens on a weird occasion. Dirt and water plus grass is the grass blocks. Okay. Let's take a look. I have plenty of dirt. I have a water bucket. Got plenty of water here. Okay. Let's grab some dirt. Let's do that. And let's grab some grass. And give this a go. So dirt here. Hey, there we go. Okay. It's getting power now. Hey, there we go. Awesome. Beautiful. I don't know why the power is going from this side and not like that side. That's kind of weird. Normally it goes from the bottom up, not from the top down. Hey, there we go. The configurator's starting to get power into it. Awesome. Okay, we're good. It's one of those machines that it doesn't update the power that's in it until it's attempts to do the recipe. And then it's like, oh, wait, I have power. Let's update it now. Yeah, you're good. You're fine. It's a bit weird, but that's all right. Some mods are just like that. Okay. We have our grass blocks. With that, we can start making our hopping bonsais. Hoppers and chests, which is iron. That's perfectly fine. The bonsai pot is brick. Let's go ahead and set up a couple of these for the last bits of what we do tonight. I need some wood. I don't have any chests built at the moment, but that's okay. And we need some more iron. Well, actually, we have... break open a little bit more iron just to have it. Okay, perfect. So I want to make... Let's start with 4 hopping bonsais, just to begin with. We've got 4 bonsai pots. Now we need 4 hopping bonsais. So we need to make 1, 2, 3, 4 hoppers. There we go. Those 4 bonsai pots. And the 4 hoppers become the hopping bonsais. Automatically export drops to inventories below. Okay. So let us now build the storage crate. We'll make 4 just to start with. 1, 2, 3. What am I out of? I'm out of sticks, but that's fine. 1 more of those. Perfect. I need to grab more wood. There we go. That's 4 chests. Make 1 small storage crate. Let's grab that. 4, 8, 12. Perfect. Okay, that is enough for right now, because this is a demonstration to show what exactly this is going to look like. So we have our small storage crates, we have our hopping bonsais, and we have our grass blocks. Now, why is having the grass block for the hopping bonsai so important? Well, if we take a look at the hopping bonsai pot, we'll notice that for a lot of the things that you can grow in it, it takes two or more types of soil. The dirt, when it shows up, has a growth time of 110%, so it grows faster just in straight dirt. But the drop chance is only 90%. So every time it has a growth cycle, it grows a little faster, but there's a small chance that it won't get any drops from it whatsoever. Whereas with the grass block, growth time is 100%, so it just takes as long as it normally takes, but there's a 100% chance for the drops. So every single time it has a growth cycle, it'll be a little slower than the dirt, but you'll guarantee drops. Now, not every single drop is guaranteed. So, like, for example, from the olive sapling, oak wood chance is 75%, stick chance is 20%, olive chance is 20%, oak leaves chance is 10%, and an olive sapling chance is 5%. These all still have those chances to be dropped when this completes a growth cycle. But with that drop chance of being 90%, every time this has a full growth cycle, there's a 10% chance you won't get anything. Like, it won't produce any of these materials. With the 100% drop chance for the grass block, it means that every single time you have a growth cycle, it'll roll these chances. So yeah, you could be essentially fighting double RNG to make a growth cycle roll a little faster, but then having no chance of getting anything, which is why I wanted to make sure that I used the grass blocks. Okay, the configurator is getting some more power in it. Good. This area up here, it's going to be redesigned now that I have access to the hopping bonsais. I recessed the floor here because I was tired of, when I was growing trees, of the tree blocks touching the ceiling here, and I kept losing leaf blocks from up here. That was a bit of an annoyance. So yeah, I just recessed the floor, and there's now a much lesser chance of that happening. I do still need to finish decorating this with the ferro lanterns, the mega torches, and so on. But I would like to set these up. So we have we're just going to put them here for now. Small storage crate, small storage crate, small storage crate, small storage crate. We have the hopping bonsais, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And like it said, it automatically exports to the inventory below it. We're going to put grass block, grass block, grass block, grass block. And we're going to go get some saplings. We can begin with these saplings. Let's see. Put the rest of the grass blocks here for now. Which saplings do we want to go with? Let's see. We're going to do the mineral sapling because I like working with the mineral stuff. We're going to do an oak sapling. We're going to do the spider web sapling. And I think, isn't there an apple sapling? I believe there might be. Yeah, the apple sapling. So 3 apples and any sapling makes the apple sapling. Now, the only reason that I haven't made more of these Pam's Harvest Craft saplings was for the simple reason of you can't twerk for trees to get their stuff. So I would end up having to use a lot of bone meal to do that. And like, I'll just wait until I have access to the hopping bonsais, and we'll let it produce stuff automatically. All right. Freeze there, sorry. So we've got the mineral sapling. Boop. That is now growing. We've got the oak sapling. That is now growing. We've We've got the spiderweb sapling. That is now growing. And we've got the apple sapling. That is now growing. So this will automatically grow. It takes, I think it even says, if you take a look in here, usually takes 30 seconds to grow this bonsai. So that grows up. Boop. Fortane has made the advancement, grow a bonsai tree. Nice. Yeah, here we go. Craft a bonsai pot and then grow a bonsai. Use it for decoration or as an early tree farm. I mean, I wouldn't even consider this an early tree farm. It's just a tree farm. Now, every time this has a grow cycle, it's going to grow some mineral wood, some mineral berries. This one, the oak sapling, is going to grow oak wood and apples, as well as leaf blocks. We've got the spiderweb sapling. Watch a full growth cycle. And boop. There we go. More spiderweb saplings, sticks, and oak wood. Again, each potential drop from these is not guaranteed, but you do have a guaranteed chance to roll those things with using grass blocks. And yeah, apple, just more apples because it's an easy food source. I just keep using apple juice for right now. All right. But this is now going to get me infinite drops from every single one of these trees. So the oak trees are going to be any of the oak-based trees are going to be very helpful because of all the fencing I'm going to be making. The apple tree is going to be helpful because, hey, it's free food and free ground bait that I'll be able to use in the Pam's Harvest Craft ground trap. Oh, this has been a very productive day. Silliness with the the energetic sheep and buns over here aside, I think this has been a very, very productive session. Got a whole bunch of plants that we can start harvesting and making lots of things out of. This is getting so full of manure and eggs and stuff. How are these doing over here? How's my roosters doing? Look at all that bone meal. Look at that. Just, it only produces one thing. Like, this only produces eggs, but look how many eggs it's produced in just the, what, half an hour or so that we've been chatting here and playing and doing this portion. It's quite funny. Just, yep, this is now an infinite amount of these things. And once I have access to the machines that allow me to like burn food to make energy, this is infinite energy here. Just all those chicken eggs, turn it into whatever the best food I can, feed them into the culinary generator, boom, infinite energy. Take all these crops that I have over here, I can bone meal them a ton, I can do things like that, boom, infinite energy. I will do one tiny thing, and we'll end it here. There is, let's put these away for the moment. There are a couple of scythe sickle type things that I would like to look at just real quick before we call it good here. Discord Badoop, that was my bad for not silencing Discord before I started recording. Let's see, SI, CY. I want to just have a way. I want to be able to like harvest a bunch of crops at one time. I'm going to have the garden closures later on, but I do want to take a look at these real quick. The sickle, wooden sickle, and then these sickles. We got the iron sickle. Let's take a look at them. Let's do that. We'll start with the wooden one just because we can. Boop. And if these end up not working how I want them to or how I need them to, that's fine. I'll just put them in the retired stuff. Let's see. So can't right click. Can I right click on vanilla crops? Okay, right-clicking on vanilla crops just does that. If I break it... Ah, it breaks the whole thing. That's okay. Not exactly what I was looking for, because I was essentially looking for it to be planted. Nope. That doesn't even... Nope. Okay. Understood. That does not work how I was thinking it was going to. That's all right. Again, not a problem. Not a big deal. There's going to be certain tools I'm like, well, that just doesn't work how I wanted it to or thought it was going to. No, not a problem. Let's take a look at... Let's see. Let's just make the iron sickle. So same thing, but with iron, and see if that does what I'm looking for. There we go. Basically, I'd like to come over here every now and again and just right-click some of the crops and then have it, whoosh, harvest a bunch. Okay, there we go. Again, the only real issue is the fact of I now have to replant all those. Like, that's cool to just be able to harvest all that at once. But since I have to replant it, it's not as great as if I were to just right-click it and have it harvest and then it's replanted. Boop, 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 boop. Shifting all the stuff into here. But that's okay. I believe, and it's been a while since I've used it, I believe the Tinker's Construct scythe technically will do what I'm kind of looking for. We'll make it eventually, but I'm not too concerned with it at the moment. I just wanted to test that out real quick before we ended tonight. Just so I have a point of comparison. There we go. But we do have a ton of foods that we can make into a ton more foods. And eventually we'll have power generation from foods. In summary, we have electric sheep boogaloo that's going to give us a lot of power. We have some power generation, basic power generation here from the heat generator. We have the metallurgical infuser. We now have infinite wood being produced over there. And yeah, so the next steps are going to be fleshing out more of the mechanism set up here to be able to produce materials better. Finish fleshing out and digging out, decorating, etc. these areas to then actually start like having the farm in its own place, having the chickens and creatures in their own place, starting Botania in their own place, and so on. But a lot of that work, just in terms of like digging out and decorating and stuff, will be done off camera because you've seen it already. But until next time, thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you have a good day and good game.